everybody, it's Tony George along with Sean Salisbury, host of the Sean Salisbury Show on iHeartRadio. Be sure and check him out over there. Follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Always a good read there with the tweets. And we're going to be talking about Golden State and New Orleans tonight, who's going to play and who's not. But before that, Sean's down in Phoenix right now, a little sabbatical from Houston. And Sean, right there where you live was one hell of a basketball game last night in the Western Conference, wasn't it?
It sure was. And, Booker struggled. It's the confidence that they're showing. Chris Paul had a hell of a game, as he always seems to this year, Tony.
Yeah.
But, Booker wasn't shooting the ball well. They put the ball in his hands with just a couple seconds to go last night, down a point, right? They had jumped out, and then a big fourth quarter by Portland and Lillard and McCollum doing their thing. Put the ball in his hands. He gets fouled, knocks down 2 free throws. They win the game with a couple seconds left. This town is starting to feel it. Tony, you remember the days when like the Flying Dutchman and Alvin Adams and Paul Westphal, and that or even when Barkley was here and Thunder Dan and that group, after that, they're starting to get the same feel for the Suns that those groups had. And listen, they're gonna end up more with the 2 seed, and they're a dangerous team because they've got leadership, explosive talent, and probably don't know what they don't know, Tony. Which sometimes, and now with the West, while it's deep in the West, but what they aren't is that there's not that one team in the West this year, Tony. We can look at Utah, but Utah's Utah at times in the postseason. Now, this may be different because they're good. Phoenix isn't used to being here. The Lakers, I don't think, are the same Lakers. And will they be fully healthy? Yes, they do turn it on in the postseason. The Clippers, we've talked about. I mean, what Paul George will show up. Dallas with Luka Doncic, are they really a threat to go deep into the playoffs this year? I think they're a year or so away from being a really dangerous team. Then you look out east. The truth is the best team in the NBA, as far as if you were going to bet them and you had to spend everything you owned, it'd probably be Brooklyn with 3 stars, right? So the West is winnable by about 4 or 5 teams. You got the MVP in Nikola Jokic, so the Joker's having a monster year. So the Phoenix Suns could very easily be staring at a Brooklyn or Philadelphia type team, or Milwaukee when they come here, maybe more than likely Brooklyn if they're all healthy. So the Suns, I mean, why not the Suns this year? So there's a buzz growing in the valley here in Arizona, and I like it because they've elevated, and I love the trust they showed in Booker last night, who is a bona fide star in this league.
Yeah, and the one thing about Phoenix, 2 things about Phoenix at their advantage here. They could, I see them, and I had them over and under in season win totals, my best bet this year, which was a nice one. But at the end of the day, they've remained healthy when a lot of teams haven't, and they are a deep team, and they are extremely well coached. And people
had great
do not
bench play last night, Tony. Sorry to interrupt. They had great bench play last night in that game. They did.
The number one handicap that you want to handicap in the NBA postseason, ladies and gentlemen, is bench points. It is absolutely crucial in the NBA. You're playing these 5 and 7 game series on back-to-back nights and skipping a night and traveling. And it does wear, especially getting into the second and third round. And having a deep bench and bench points is a huge advantage for any team. And speaking of bench, they're going to be going to it tonight in the New Orleans and Golden State game, Sean. Whenever Zion Williamson is out and Ingram is out for New Orleans, they're an automatic fade. And I know that they're 7-1 against the spread their last 8 road games, but this is a different animal. Golden State tonight laying 2, total around 225, which might be a little high with the lack of talent on the floor, especially on the New Orleans side of the ball. And bear in mind that the 8th and 9th spot in the playoff seedings in the West is tied, and Memphis is playing tonight as well. And, of course, Golden State, they're tied. So, you maybe want to win the tiebreaker. There's a lot more motivation for Golden State in this game, Sean. Even with some injuries, we have not Durant, but Curry listed as 50-50 basically with a sore tailbone. Whenever I see these NBA injury reports, I can trust them about as far as I can trust myself throwing a car. You don't know what you're going to get, but every time I see one of the star players isn't going to play, or I read there was one time this year, so I forgot who, a guard for somebody, he was in a walking boot yesterday. Well, the next night he played and had 46 points. It's crazy. Right. But I think if Curry, if Curry can give it a go, he'll give it a go here. I don't see any way with New Orleans injuries here that they can compete on the road against a team in the playoffs when basically New Orleans has got nothing to play for, Sean. Everybody's hurt.
Yeah, and without the stars on the court, I all of them, the over seems that point total seems quite a bit to me. I actually think if Curry plays, and I'm leaning towards him anyway, they understand how to win these games. I know it's not the Golden State team of the past, but they're well coached, as we know. And if he's not injured, if it's hurt, you got to play hurt. And when you're putting up MVP type season, it's just another thing that Curry. Hey, look what he did. He's banged up. You know how that goes, Tony. That banter of, oh, look at it. You get that hero syndrome. Oh, he could have sat this one out, but he decided to play. We're not going to rest him, and he goes and hangs 50 on somebody. I actually think Golden State's going to boat race them. I do.
Yeah.
With the importance of this game, it's in their arena. They're well coached. They care, and they this whole year people have been talking. You know, okay, no Klay Thompson. What are we going to? And they continue to grind and hang in, and just to get it to have a chance to get in and to play in. I like Golden State. Matter of fact, if this was at 3 or 4, I'd still spot you those with the injuries on New Orleans and say, I'll give you. I'm giving you those points. I'm taking Golden State in this one. I'll probably stay away from the point total, but I got Golden State at 2, and I think that it's a comfortable 2 for me.
Yeah, 107, 110, 112, 107, 108, the last 5-game points production out of New Orleans, and that was with more players than they have tonight. I don't see any way that Golden State lets this one get away from them. This is an awfully short number. I think, and sometimes, in sports betting, just like anything else in life, Sean, when it looks too good to be true, it probably isn't. But really,
Right.
that Curry injury and a couple other starters out for Golden State, and they're not that deep of a team, gives a
Nope.
lot of people great pause. But the injury list and the roster depletion for New Orleans is too much here, folks. I'm with Sean. This line's going to go up. And if you find out later during the day, because we tape these early in the morning, that Curry is a definite go and that thing's under 4, get on it big
Yes,
time.
sir. Agreed.
He's Sean Salisbury. He is on iHeartRadio. And, of course, we got a free $60 for you. And don't forget, here on Friday, the tip-off of the WNBA begins. Another WNBA season, 32-game schedule here. Excited about a new handicapper I brought on for the WNBA. We're opening up with an opening day flat bet triple header over there at DocSports.com. So jump on board. Little self-promotion there, Sean.
Why wouldn't you, man? You're like the GOAT. So go get yourself some money and go get these people paid with all this great handicapping. So it'll be fun. And my trust is with you, brother. You're allowed to self-promote as much as you want. And the self-promotion is in how much money you make people. So that's a good promotion to have.
There you go. Endorsed by Sean Salisbury. The guy won a Grey Cup, for crying out loud, as a quarterback. I mean, there's no handicapper getting that endorsement today online, folks. So take advantage of it. Head over to Docs, get your free $60. Have a great weekend. Sean, I'll be back with you on Tuesday with some more free picks.